What if the world you perceive with your physical eyes is merely a shadow, a beautiful, intricate illusion, but an illusion nonetheless? What if behind this veil of the mundane, there exists a reality of pure light, of interconnected consciousness, a luminous tapestry where past, present, and future coexist? The ancients knew of this reality. They didn't just believe in it, they experienced it directly. They understood that humanity possesses a key to unlock this grander perception, a faculty not of the body, but of the soul. They called it by many names: the Eye of Horus, the Star of Brahma, the Ajna Chakra. But we will call it by its most direct name: inner sight. This is not a myth or a metaphor. It is a dormant organ of spiritual perception, a gateway within your own consciousness that, once activated, can flood your life with clarity, intuition, and experiences that transcend the ordinary. It is the source of the prophet's vision, the artist's inspiration, and the sage's wisdom. In our modern world, filled with noise and distraction, this inner eye has been allowed to close, leaving us to navigate by sight alone, often lost in the shadows. In this journey together, we will pull back the veil. We will explore the forgotten history of this sacred gift, understand its true nature beyond superstition, and uncover the precise ancient techniques to gently awaken it from its slumber. Prepare to unlock the door to a world you have always known in your heart, but have forgotten how to see. The whisper of the inner eye is not a recent echo. It is a primordial truth, carved into the temple walls of forgotten empires and transcribed onto scrolls that have crumbled to dust. This is not the invention of one culture, but the shared discovery of all who have dared to look within. In the sun-scorched lands of ancient Egypt, it was known as the Eye of Horus. More than a mere symbol of protection, it represented restored perception and spiritual wholeness. The myth tells of Horus's eye being torn out and then magically restored by Thoth, the god of wisdom. The esoteric meaning is clear. Humanity has lost its true sight, and it is through wisdom and divine intervention that it can be made whole again. The Egyptian priests, masters of anatomy and spirit, saw the shape of this sacred eye mirrored in the structures of the human brain, the thalamus, the pituitary, and the pineal gland, the very physical throne of our inner vision. They knew the gateway was not in the heavens, but within the temple of the human skull. Travel east to the silent Himalayan caves and the bustling ashrams of India. Here, it is the Ajna Chakra, the sixth of the primary energy centers. Ajna means command, for it is from this center that consciousness is guided. It is the third eye of Lord Shiva, the cosmic dancer, whose opening glance incinerates the world of illusion, revealing the stark, luminous reality of the self. In the Yoga Sutras, the sage Patanjali speaks of practices that lead to siddhis, or spiritual powers, chief among them being clairvoyance and the perception of subtle realities. For the yogi, activating the Ajna Chakra is the culmination of unifying the dualistic energies of the body, the sun and moon, the masculine and feminine, into a singular laser-like beam of focused awareness. Even in the marbled halls of ancient Greece, where logic was king, the philosophers spoke of this power. Plato, in his famed allegory of the cave, described humanity as prisoners watching shadows dance on a wall, mistaking them for reality. To awaken the inner sight is to be the prisoner who escapes the cave,
who turns away from the shadows to gaze upon the sun of truth itself. He called it the eye of the soul, and believed it was the only instrument capable of perceiving the eternal, unchanging world of forms that lies behind our fleeting material existence. From the Taoist sage perceiving the cosmic flow, to the Christian mystic experiencing divine union, to the modern philosopher like Descartes identifying the pineal gland as the principal seat of the soul, the message is identical. There is a mode of perception that transcends the five senses. It is our birthright, a legacy left by our wisest ancestors waiting to be reclaimed.
So, what is this faculty, in truth? How does one perceive a world that our biological eyes cannot see? Imagine your consciousness is a vast, infinitely complex radio receiver. Your five senses, sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell, are permanently tuned to a single, powerful frequency. Let us call it Material Reality FM. It is a dense, vibrant, and engrossing broadcast, so much so that we forget we can even turn the dial. We believe this one station is the entirety of the radio spectrum. Inner sight is the act of consciously, deliberately turning that dial. It is the recalibration of your consciousness to perceive the other frequencies that are constantly broadcasting all around you and through you. These are the frequencies of thought, of emotion, of time, of the collective unconscious, of other dimensions of being. They are not somewhere else. They are right here, right now, interpenetrating our own reality, but vibrating on a different plane of existence. The physical antenna for this cosmic radio is a tiny, oft-neglected organ nestled deep within the geometric center of your brain, the pineal gland. It is no larger than a grain of rice, shaped like a pine cone, a sacred shape echoed in spiritual art across the world. Modern science knows it for producing melatonin, the hormone that governs our cycles of sleep and wakefulness, literally guiding our consciousness between the outer world and the inner world of dreams each night. But the esoteric traditions see it for what it truly is, a biological crystal, an atrophied organ of spirit. Within this gland are calcite microcrystals that possess piezoelectric properties, meaning they can respond to and generate electromagnetic fields. It is a biological transducer designed to convert the subtle frequencies of the cosmos into neurochemical signals your brain can interpret. It is the physical interface between matter and spirit. Unfortunately, in our modern age, this sacred gland becomes hardened, calcified by the toxins in our environment, our water, and our food. The antenna becomes rusted, caked with static, unable to receive a clear signal. The eye of the soul becomes clouded over. When you begin to gently clear this channel, the experience is not always a sudden cinematic vision. The language of inner sight is subtle at first. It speaks in archetypes and symbols that bubble up from your subconscious. It communicates through sudden flashes of profound, unshakable knowing, claircognizance, where an answer to a complex problem appears in your mind fully formed. It manifests as the ability to feel the energy of a room, to perceive the luminous aura around a living thing, or to sense the truth behind a person's words. This is the inner sight awakening, learning to translate the language of light into a form your human consciousness can begin to comprehend. As the static clears and the signal from your inner antenna grows stronger, the nature of your reality begins to fundamentally shift. The experiences move beyond fleeting intuitions into a profound reordering of perception itself.
The first and most powerful shift is the dissolution of duality. Our physical senses are instruments of separation. They tell us, here is the boundary of my body. There is the beginning of the outside world. This is me, and that is other. But inner sight perceives a different truth. It sees the underlying energy that constitutes all things. From this vantage point, the universe no longer appears as a collection of separate objects, but as a single, unified ocean of consciousness. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a single drop. The rigid walls of the ego begin to feel translucent, then permeable, as you directly experience your connection to the tree outside your window, the stranger across the street, and the stars in the distant galaxy. This is the beginning of true compassion, not as a moral concept, but as a lived reality. Next, your relationship with time is fractured and remade. Linear time, past, present, future, is a construct of the human brain, a necessary tool for navigating a three-dimensional world, but it is not a fundamental law of the cosmos. Inner sight operates from a perspective outside of this linear flow. It perceives time as a unified field where all moments exist simultaneously in an eternal now. This is the mechanism behind precognition and prophecy. It is not about seeing the future as if watching a film that hasn't been released. It is about accessing a point of consciousness from which the entire tapestry of time, cause and effect, potential and probability is visible at once. However, this gateway is not without its guardian. The information that flows through the inner eye is not raw data. It is filtered through the lens of your own mind. It speaks in a language of symbols, archetypes, and feelings drawn from your personal subconscious and the collective mind of humanity. A vision must be interpreted with humility and discernment. The ego is a master trickster on this path. It loves to seize upon these experiences to create stories of being special, chosen, or uniquely gifted. True sight is impersonal. It is a tool for wisdom, not a badge for spiritual pride. Furthermore, when you open the door to perceive subtle light, you also become aware of the subtle shadows. You may become more sensitive to the psychic static of mass fear, the pain held in a physical location, or the negative thought forms of those around you. This is not to be feared. It is a call to develop spiritual maturity, to build a resilient and luminous energy field, and to become a beacon of light that is not afraid of the dark. For it understands that darkness is merely the absence of its own illumination.
The knowledge is the map, but practice is the journey itself. The awakening of inner sight is not a passive event. It is an active cultivation, a sacred art. To walk this path requires dedication, but the steps are simple and available to all. First, we must prepare the vessel. You cannot receive a clear signal through a rusted antenna. This begins with purifying the physical body, specifically the pineal gland. Consider reducing your exposure to fluoride, which is known to accumulate in and calcify this delicate organ. This means filtered water and natural fluoride-free toothpaste. Nourish your body with clean, living foods, rich in nutrients that support brain health. The ancients also knew the secrets of light and dark. Gaze upon the sun, but only during the safe golden minutes of sunrise and sunset. Allow that gentle light to enter your pupils and stimulate the gland directly. And just as importantly, honor the darkness. Sleep in a room devoid of artificial light, allowing your pineal gland to perform its sacred nightly duty of producing melatonin, your natural bridge to the dream worlds. With the vessel prepared, we begin the direct practices.
The cornerstone of this work is meditation. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably, with your spine erect but not rigid. Close your eyes. For a few moments, simply observe your breath, allowing the noise of the day to fade. Now gently, without any strain, bring your awareness to the point in the center of your forehead, slightly above the space between your eyebrows. Do not force anything. Simply rest your attention there. Feel the subtle sensation, the faint pressure or warmth. This is the outer gate of the Ajna Chakra. Hold your focus here. This simple act begins to pool your life force energy at the gateway of perception. Now we add vibration. Sound is a powerful key for unlocking energetic centers. The most potent mantra for the third eye is the primordial sound Om. Inhale deeply, and on the exhale, chant the sound, drawing it out. Om. Feel the vibration resonate not in your throat, but deep within the center of your skull. Let this sacred hum gently massage the pineal gland, breaking up energetic stagnation. Do this for several minutes, allowing the vibration to be your sole focus. Finally, we use the power of creative visualization. With your attention still resting at the center of your head, imagine a tiny sphere of luminous, deep indigo light. With each inhale, see this sphere glowing a little brighter. With each exhale, see it release any fogginess or impurity. Watch as it becomes a brilliant, pulsing star of violet-blue light in the temple of your mind. Be patient. You are not looking for fireworks. The first signs of success are often subtle. A deeper sense of peace, more vivid dreams, an increase in synchronicity in your daily life, and a quiet, growing intuition. Do not strain to see. You are not creating a new sense. You are simply and gently remembering how to use one you have always possessed.
We have journeyed from the shadow plays on Plato's cave wall to the luminous throne room in the center of our own minds. We have rediscovered that inner sight is not a myth, but a sacred inheritance woven into our very spiritual DNA. It is the forgotten key waiting in the lock. We have explored its history, its nature, and the practical steps to gently coax it open. But know this, the ultimate goal is not to see visions, it is to become visionary. It is to move through the world with a profound sense of clarity, intuition, and interconnectedness. To open this eye is to do more than just perceive a new world. It is to begin co-creating your reality from a place of higher awareness. This is not about gaining a superpower. It is about finally becoming fully, truly human, reclaiming the unified consciousness that has always been your birthright. So I invite you to begin. Take these practices and apply them with patience and reverence. Be gentle with yourself. The path inward is a marathon, not a sprint. What veil in your own life is waiting to be lifted? What truth is waiting patiently behind it? Share your thoughts and your journey in the sacred space of the comments below. Let us learn from one another. And if you feel the call to continue unraveling these ancient mysteries, to walk the path of wisdom and self-realization, then subscribe to the Serpent Scroll. The serpent represents the rising energy of awakening, and each video is another section of the scroll being unfurled. Join our community of seekers and let us walk this path together.